Crystal Jordan with Reality Check, and I don't have to introduce my next guest. You guys have seen them for seasons and seasons and seasons on reality TV, and they actually have a brand new show they just finished shooting. Welcome, Erica and Warryn Campbell.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello. Thank you guys for coming out today.
Absolutely.
Glad
Glad to be here.
Last minute, we managed to get them in the studio, so I'm super excited because this show, Reality Check, is all about relationships and love. And of
Yes.
course, we love to see Black love.
Yes.
And you guys definitely are exhibiting that on your new television show, Meet the Campbells, right?
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask you, after doing this very, very show for so long on WeTV, what made you decide to do another reality show just focused on your family?
Well, my husband was saying that we just felt like there was a place for a Black family, a healthy Black family
Right.
in television. You don't often see a lovable father, you know. He's always the mean, kind of non-existent. The mother's the biggest personality. And so we just felt like, I'm very proud of our family dynamic, our children, and what we're trying to do, and you know, who God has allowed us to be. And so we felt like, you know, TV was a cool place to encourage other people and let them know this is an example too.
Right.
It was more about, for me, changing the narrative that all Black families are somehow broken.
Right.
You know,
Right.
just all the daddies is gone, or
Yeah.
somebody's gone, or somebody,
Right.
you know. And I just didn't grow up like that. You know, I grew up around, not, you know, broken families, but you know, my existence was a little bit different. Like I was around a bunch of married couples. My uncles, aunties, people been married for years and years.
Right.
But if you look at the landscape of entertainment, we don't show that.
Yeah.
They almost rather show,
Yeah.
you know, where a dad's not there, or just a single dad, or
Right.
you know.
They even put expiration dates on, like you see the wedding and they put an expiration date on. It's crazy.
Yeah, they do. But I think not only are you guys married for a long time, how many years you been married? 17 years. And
Together
you
for
still,
22.
wow, that's like a whole adult. But not only that, I mean, you're still like cool. Like you still look like a girl that other women can relate to. Because some married people, you see them and it's like, yeah, nobody else
Worn
really
out.
trying to be with them, you know? Yes. She married because she don't have an option, but it's clear that both of you guys, you both look like you have a healthy sense of self.
Yes.
But yet you work together. So I think that's something that's great for us to see as well.
Yeah. I think understanding this dynamic of young and married, fun and married, sexy and married, is very, very possible. I know we don't see it a lot. Trusting and married, and friends and married, and that's what we are. So we actually, I don't mind being a billboard for a happily married woman and a happily married Christian woman.
Absolutely.
And
I'm gonna be honest.
I'm sorry. It can happen that way when we get married for the right reasons too.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to be honest with you, Erica. I grew up in the church, but I remember thinking, if I am a Christian and I wait on God to send me a man, he's probably going to be unattractive. And he's going to be a good Christian man, but he's not going to be the kind that would make me really excited. And then maybe you don't get to, you don't see a lot of Christian women that still are, celebrating their femininity. And I salute you for doing those things and doing them with class, and yet showing both sides, because it's not just, people, young people, but also older people need to realize that I serve a God just like you do, but I can still put on some jeans that are fly.
I thought the same thing. I felt the same feelings. I felt like I was going, my dad was a preacher. I was like, I'm probably going to marry some son of my father's preacher friend. I'm not going to enjoy him at all. Like, that's what I thought, and then I started going, no. Then I wrote a list of what I wanted. Of course, I was a chronic dater. Church girls, you
What was on your list?
What was on my list was, I wanted him to be dark skinned.
You got that? Check.
I wanted him to be in the music industry.
Check on that.
I wanted him to love God more than he loved me.
Check.
And the last one was shallow. I wanted him to drive a BMW.
Okay.
Because that was the car that I liked when I was like 21 or
When we
22.
met,
He was driving a BMW.
I was 19.
You were 20, don't you?
20.
I am older than you, but I was.
And I did drove out there. I had a BMW 7 Series.
Yes, you did.
Wow. Wow. That is good. See, that's obviously not by chance.
No, I think it was God's design.
Right.
And I was open to what God wanted for me. I I was 28 when I got married, but I was a chronic dater my whole life. So of course I thought I was going to be married at 21. By 25, a church girl, if you're not married, you go into sheer panic.
Right,
Like,
right.
oh my God, I'll be the old lady in church that's not married. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we know them. You know, God bless y'all, mothers in the church.
Right.
But I just didn't want to be that.
Yeah.
You know, but I didn't want to speak death over my own dating life.
Right.
Like I didn't say out of my mouth, all men are dogs and you can't trust them and ain't nobody. I didn't say that because I didn't want to draw that. I feel like you automatically shut something off when that's what you put out, right? So if the Bible says man should not be alone, it's not good for man to be alone. That's what he said. And if it says, and her desire shall be for my man, that ain't bad. I don't feel bad because I desire a man,
Right.
and I did. But I wanted it God's way on His terms because I feel like if I do it His way, it's always going to be much better than my own.
Absolutely.
So
So you guys met when you were very young, right?
Yeah.
So even with God involved, there still can be times where you learn things.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to start with Warren. What would you do differently if you knew then what you know now about your relationship?
First thing, the first day I meet her, I'm proposing.
Oh,
For real.
Yeah. And
it's so sweet.
you know, I wish we would have knew who each other were, you know, or who we were going to be in each other's lives earlier. Because, you know, we dated, and then I needed space, and we broke up.
Right.
Then we got engaged, and I got cold feet, and we broke up, you know. I wouldn't have did none of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do any of that, and we would have been married earlier, and then started our family earlier. You know what I mean? Just, I think I would have put more time into us. At the time when we got married or just started dating, I was heavily involved in my career, and I didn't come up for air. You couldn't talk to me.
Right.
If she wanted to see me,
She had
Had
to
to
come to the
studio.
studio.
if I want to see her, I had to go to church where she was. And I didn't go to church at the time. I was like, I didn't like church. I didn't go, but if I want to see her, I got to go to this church. So I would go after church was over. And guess what? She'd be like, well, I only got about an hour because I got to go back to church. I'm like, you just got out.
You thought it was
No, we got another service. I'm like, dang, y'all go to church, stay at church all day. But that's how it was. When she wanted to see me, she came to the studio, hung out with me, because I was not leaving that room, you know. But I would have put more time into us.
I want to ask you a question. Would you say that we trusted each other, or we trusted our relationship in the beginning?
I did.
I think we both were kind of scared.
Oh, you mean in terms of
What this
before
could be?
Before
You know
we
what I
became,
mean?
yeah. At the very beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
We were like, nah.
No.
We were saying things like, I ain't
trying to
just
fall in love.
friends.
Yeah.
We said that for a long time.
And I wouldn't even call her my girlfriend. I never had a girlfriend per se until maybe about 2 years. About 2 years into us dating, I started calling her my girlfriend.
2 years.
But before that, I have never called a female my girlfriend.
Warren, that's a long time. I'm just saying that's a long time. Not taking
Girl.
sides or anything, but
No,
that's a really
but
long
let
time.
but let the record reflect. It worked.
Yeah, then you had all the friends who didn't realize, oh, I wasn't a girlfriend. Oh, he getting married. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Like they were all confused. They were, and that's what happens a lot of times.
No. They were not confused.
They were.
No. Let me tell you why. Because I told them.
You told them you were serious about somebody that she just
Yeah,
wasn't.
when I told them about us, like we just dating. We not boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't even do that. And they knew because of that. And they knew because it ain't like I called them every day. I talked to them every blue moon. You know, they were my friends.
They were
Women don't
friends,
know
but none of them didn't want to come to the wedding. It was all his good friends.
Women don't know.
They don't know because they don't want to know.
Maybe.
I told them though.
But you know what? I think that we don't see a lot of good examples. Right?
This is true.
So to a woman who doesn't know better, she may not know that means a man's not interested.
And there's a bit of desperation.
Oh, it's a
You know
lot
what I
bit.
mean?
It's not a bit.
It's a lot of the thirst
Yeah,
and the
well-
desperation. Like, well, if I don't do this, if I'm not always there, if I'm not calling all the time, if I'm texting, he's
Yeah.
going to forget about me.
Absolutely.
As opposed to, I'm so memorable.
Right.
I can
Oh, wow.
text you on Monday, on Thursday, you're still thinking about me.
Amen.
Because my impact on you. And when
Right.
you look at yourself like that,
Right.
it's a little different. And if he leaves, he ain't the one.
Absolutely.
And I'll
That's
give you
powerful.
I'll give you a word here. Talk about thirst. It's something that men can sniff out. We know. There's a difference. We don't want thirsty. We want hungry. It's a different thing. Because hunger will have you chasing stuff that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
Your career.
Right.
I'm hungry for that's what she was. I seen her, she was hungry. I'm like, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we like a hungry woman. We don't like a thirsty woman.
That's a tweetable moment.
That's tweetable,
That's
for
a
sure.
tweetable moment.
For sure.
I have to ask you the same thing though. What would you, as a wife, you obviously saw that growing up,
Mm-hmm.
but do you have anything that you would do differently if you could talk to yourself when you first got married than you would do now? Like if you could go back and give yourself advice.
I would have gotten my ego out of it. I mean, because a lot of times we don't look at it as women having egos. It's like you want to convey how much you love him and how much you want him. But I was the kind of girl, I was like, well, listen, if he want me, he want me. If he don't, he don't. You know what I mean? So you play these games.
Right.
But by then, we're like 1 year married. And I didn't know how to be a wife and he didn't know how to be a husband. We both, I'm in there pretending based on movies and music and stuff that I saw, not developing our own marriage culture of how we communicate and how we express our feelings and what we expect and how to voice those expectations with love and not demands. You ain't going. I was never that kind of girl,
Right.
but I felt like, I don't want you to do that to me, but I didn't know how to say that,
Right.
you know?
Wow.
I remember one time when he was in work mode, and work mode was, I'm just going to be in the studio. I may see you and I may not. And I knew that, right? And I was fine with that because we both were very passionate about our work. But at this time, I wanted some more of his time.
Right.
And so I said, I need you to take me out, right? And he was like, well, fine, we're with this big old house. We was kids. Well, fine, we can sell this house and give it all these cars and we can go on as many days as you want to. I said, somebody going to take me somewhere. Wrong attitude, wrong emotion to convey, because that's not what I meant. I just wanted more time with him. So
Right.
once you really, I
How
wish,
did I respond to that?
you said fine and you left and then you called me about 3 minutes later and was like, we'll go to the movies. And we went to the movies and went to get something to eat that night. We had a date. I mean, we both had this little, but that's
Yeah.
not what, and I think a lot of people, you give this ego and emotion, and that's not, you just want things to be right.
Yeah.
You just want to be
fear?
loved.
You don't know how
fear.
I don't want you to take me for granted, so I'm going to push out this defensive.
Yeah, so instead of just saying, don't take me for granted, we don't know how to do that because
Right.
we're afraid that we won't get back what we want in
Right.
return.
Right.
And sometimes it was bad for me, but because I'm quiet and kind of non-combative, you wouldn't know,
Right.
But it was kind of turmoil in my head the first few years of being married until we got to this place of just being honest and talking and sharing what we really feel, without being afraid of the response.
I want to ask one question because there's this I believe it's a myth and a lie, but it's something that's perpetuated in our culture that men don't really want to be with a woman that is shining. She's in front of a lot of people. It's very difficult for people say it's difficult for a man to be with a woman that's I hate the word a boss, because but the idea of her having such a huge audience and being such a beautiful woman and giving so much attention, obviously that hasn't been a problem for you, but can you kind of speak to that idea, and was it ever difficult to have her being so popular and people coming at her and you maybe feeling like they were taking away your time?
Well, in our scenario, it's a little bit different because the position she's in, I put her in. Like we started, together in music, in entertainment, and the business is the subculture of our relationship. And so she is a singer, but she's signed to a label. I own the label.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I wanted her to be out there. I wanted that, and I still do. I just think that when men have those feelings, I think they've gotten married under false pretenses because they don't understand why they did it. See, we think we get married for happiness. That's not necessarily the case. Happiness comes along with it. But God gave me the person who was going to complete what I was or what I was becoming. So she's her own full, put together, well-running corporation. And I'm my own full corporation. It's the merging of two corporations, basically, is what this is. And so her corporation is running fine by itself. It's great. My corporation is fine by itself. We're making money. We're in the black, right? But when we get together, see what I'm saying? But also when we get together, there's some things that we can use.
Right.
When companies merge, you can't take all the employees. Some people can't come along for the ride for the new corporation. And so there's things that we have to get rid of and we have to shed. And so for men, one of those things is our ego. That doesn't fit into the corporation.
Mm-hmm.
And if your corporation is up and coming, and hers may be a little bit stronger, you got to be okay with that.
Right.
Guess what? She makes you look great.
Yeah.
You are the person that found the favor. When the Bible says, "He that finds a wife finds a good thing and finds favor,"
With God.
which means by me chasing her down and finally getting her to marry me,
Mm-hmm.
I found some favor.
People forget about the second part of that verse.
Yeah.
You only hear about he
The
finds a
good
good
thing.
thing, but you never hear about
Find
he
favor.
finds favor.
Which makes her the favor factor
Mhm.
in my life.
In your life. Wow.
See what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So because I found her, now I got favor.
Mhm. So you win twice.
I'm winning.
Yeah.
I'm winning. Like, so I don't know. I tell the guys, man, get out of your head.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish my wife would make 8 times more money than I made. Please, I will sit down. I'm like, listen, you got it, baby. I'm
No,
gonna
you wouldn't.
be in the pool.
No, you would not.
Probably not, but
It
listen.
sounded good.
It would feel good.
No, but I love knowing that my wife. See, and we had this thing when we were dating. I said, I don't want to buy my own birthday gifts and
Yeah.
Christmas gifts. Like, I want you to make your own money.
I like that. Yes,
Yeah.
I want a nice,
That's the
expensive
deal.
gift, and I want you to buy it.
For
And
me,
then I want to
yeah.
buy one.
This
for
watch I
you.
got on my
Yeah.
arm right now. My wife bought this watch for me.
Nice. Very nice.
And she didn't go into my account.
I can't imagine how fathers and husbands feel when it's their time to get celebrated and they got a big in their wife, they pocket to give to you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's. But I guess I like what you guys said about finding your own culture, marriage culture, and finding your own dynamic.
How you communicate, how you love, even your sexual relationship. Like, don't base it on anybody else or what you think. Well, they're doing this. Well, they went to Jamaica. I want to go to Jamaica. They went to Bahamas. Okay, they went to Cancun. I want to
Yeah.
develop who you guys are. Y'all might enjoy just going to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't have to be less than. You may enjoy going to North Dakota.
She went on vacation with me to Detroit one time.
Oh.
And we had a good old time.
Yeah. Well, you guys really love each other. Because Detroit is not a vacation.
I had a good time.
Vacation spots.
I have family that live very close to Detroit, and that is not where I would pick a vacation. I mean, you
Listen,
love
we
each
were
other.
just there. You like that boat trip we took? That was
Yes,
fun.
we did.
See?
I know some friends on a boat. It was really, really nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Now, I want to take another term because, like I said, you've been on reality
Yes.
a long time. You guys have shared a lot, with fans,
Mm-hmm.
and that could not have been easy. Some of the struggles that you and your sister went through, and I mean, just family, just real things. How did you deal with, number one, going through some of that is difficult, period, but then going through it in front of a national audience, and then still having to go and minister to people in song after they're probably more focused on what they saw on television sometimes than the music. How did you manage that, and how have you managed to do it in a way where you still are okay with continuing to do it?
That part was rough, going through it. I think the first 2 seasons were cool when you saw some interesting, back and forth time and being late in clothes, and somewhere around that 3rd, 4th, 5th season, it was just like,
Season 2 was bad.
heart-wrenching. It was heart-wrenching because I didn't like the stuff that people said about my sister or my brother-in-law. But the greatness of our God, what came out of that is our family. The way we started praying for the whole family, not just Tina and Tay, was absolutely amazing.
And we lost her father during that season 2.
I lost
Yeah,
my
it was
father.
hard.
We changed management. She was like, I'm not really singing no more, so I'm losing so much.
Yeah.
And then hearing people voice these opinions about my sister, I'll fight over Tina. I'm like, for real,
Right.
So a lot of times he would have to tell me, put your phone down, don't respond to nobody else. Don't say nothing else. That part was hard. Because everybody has an ugly truth at some point in time. We just happen to go through it in front of the world. The fact that we serve an awesome God, something that Tina said through that process, she said, God, is this how you're going to let this play out? You got to fix this because I can't, he can't, we can't.
Yeah.
We let the whole world see this ugliness. What you going to do now? And to see them be who they are, putting out music, loving each other, still together, kids healthy, is amazing. Now, there's always going to be skeptics.
Right.
There's always going to be people who are crazy and are going to say crazy stuff. And I can't make you have the faith that I have. I can't make you love the way I do. So, you know, I don't respond. I just go, gosh, I wish you understood the power of love, because you're in this negative space where negative is the biggest thing in your life. And so it steals life from you.
Right.
So we went through all of that with the whole world watching, but I still talk to Tina every single day. I love her. She still gets on my nerves. I still get on hers.
Your sisters.
We're sisters.
Real sisters.
You know, but we came through that and we still love each other. You know, you can't control what people think.
Right.
Our life has been a testimony, and so that's what it was. What I hope people see, because they see us still posting each other, supporting each other. I hope that's what they see, and I hope they understand that you can live anything down. Just keep living.
Yeah.
It don't have to take you down. It does not have to take you. Just keep, as long as the sun keep coming up. You have another opportunity to get past it, to grow, to learn, to be better than you were yesterday, to figure it out, to apologize, to forgive. You know, you can learn all those things.
And you will see a Mary album coming in 2020.
Yes.
You know I was going to ask that next.
I knew that question was
Can we get
coming.
more, because, I mean, a lot of times I wonder, you think, like, we've given you guys so much amazing things. You know, the music has blessed people so much. You know, why couldn't you feel some of that back towards us when we're going through something hard? But for you guys to come back together and still be like, we're still going to continue to give to fans, that's a beautiful thing.
It's a ministry. I was walking down the street in New York, random street, and this guy, he looked like he would never listen to Mary Mary. And he was like, one of the Mary girls, right? I said, yeah. He said, I just want you to know that what y'all do is important. We need y'all. He was like, I mean, I know y'all doing y'all soul thing, that's cool. He was like, but we need what y'all do. Oh man, that meant so much to me. I called Tina immediately, you know, and so I believe it's gonna be amazing when we finally,
2020 will be the 20th anniversary of Mary Mary.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
And so that's when we come.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be,
Congratulations. In advance.
In advance.
Here.
Yeah.
Congratulations in advance. That's going to be awesome. I have to ask you about just, because the statement that the guy said, a lot of Mary Mary fans are not gospel fans. You know, I think you guys have been some of the pioneers in making music that is not played on gospel radio. Was that important to both of you?
Very, very important. Tell them what Big John said. We wrote a song that was real gospel-y and churchy.
Well, no, what happened was I was working on Black Street.
Okay.
And we wrote a song called The Anointing. And Big John Platt, my publisher, came to the studio and said, what's the anointing? And it made me go, oh, we have to write songs that are more accessible. So I took that story to them and told them what happened. And so I said, we can't write any more records where people don't understand what we're saying. Like, we can't write records using Christianese.
Right.
You know, stuff,
Speaking
biblical,
Christianese,
you know, technical biblical terms that nobody understands. Like, I don't understand half this stuff, you know, especially then. So, you know, I think it was important that I said, let's take the model of the country and western writers. They write stories.
Yeah.
Great stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So y'all write the stories and we come up with that stuff. When it comes to like the grooves and the cool hooks and just, you know, because I come from the hip hop world, merge those two things together.
Good.
Our chemistry just, I mean, it's really strong. Me, Erica, and Tina have this chemistry this God-given chemistry that just, if Tina can walk in the room right now, we can write 3 songs right now and it'll be amazing.
Yeah.
It's just,
We believe 5 Grammys says he's telling the truth. We believe you.
You know what, let me add this. I grew up where my father ministered on the street all the time. He was always talking to, you know, gangbangers and, you know, drug dealers and, you know, all the scariest people in the neighborhood. That's who my father befriended. And we would go to the worst parts in LA where you would never take your daughters, not your young daughters. And we would sing with people and we would shake their hand, we would give them hugs. So we learned early on how to reach people who didn't necessarily feel comfortable in church, but to let them know that God loves them too, right? And change and transformation is possible for them too, that you're not hopeless and nobody's forgotten about you. You know, you're important and valuable. And when you learn that early on, we were able to put that in the music, you know? And so when I see a dude on the street who don't look churchy at all, and he's bumping God at me or Super Friend, or even yesterday, I'm going, wow, God, thank you for allowing us to do that. It's a privilege, for real it is.
Right. I want both you guys to answer this. What does it, because you hear people use this term, and it comes from the Christianese, but I'm sure the people using it, I don't think they really understand the meaning of it. What does it mean to you to be equally yoked?
Equally yoked means our soul, our purpose, and our ministries are aligned.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just mean we both go to church.
Right.
It doesn't just mean we both like music.
Right.
It means our calling and gifts are both intertwined, where both of us are successful, but together we go to another level, and God gets the glory out of that. When it's a God-designed kind of love, it kind of supersedes this regular, he's cute, I'm cute, he makes money, you know, my girl. It's way deeper than that. It's the soul connection that shines beyond the wedding day, you know? And a lot of people get engaged and it's all about the wedding day and never the marriage. We thought about our marriage, we did. And I think that's why we're still here today. And I wish that people looked at relationship that way, the equally yoked, being, how do you feel about family? Do you love your mama the way I love my mama? You know, we started out with our families being together. Like, I would bring my whole family to his mom's house on Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I know they were a little bit overwhelmed, but we started out that way. On our wedding day, we had my family, his family, and friends. We didn't put my family, it wasn't us and them. It was like, okay, we're all family. It still takes work. It takes work. It's still developing, but that's something we intentionally do. That's equally yoked.
Well, if you don't mind, it's kind of a long answer.
That's right.
Being equally yoked, well, I mean, even that term says Christianese, it's biblical. The yoke was what we call the bit now that you put in the horse's mouth so you can steer the horse, right? And so to be equally yoked meant back then, when they wrote this phrase in the Bible, meant that the two bits that went in either the horses or the ox's mouths, one couldn't be down here and one couldn't be out here because it limited their movement.
Right.
You couldn't maneuver together because they weren't equal.
Right.
And so when I think of being equally yoked, it means that God is able to move us forward with the same intensity at the same time. You know, when God puts two people together, He doesn't mean for her to go off this way and him to go off that way. It's meant for you guys to move together. So when you're unequally yoked, by definition, you're going in different directions.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I think being equally yoked, you would know that even before you got married. You know, and people know they just want to get married. So you know he going over there and you going over here.
Right.
You ain't equally yoked.
Right.
And so I think that's the main thing for us is that we've always been moving together. You know, and it all culminates now. It's cool that you see us now doing the song together all of my life.
That was my next question. Tell everybody about it. Do you have that video is on rollingout.com. If you guys want to see the video, they are absolutely adorable. But I'm going to let you guys talk about the video and what you want, what the message is behind the song that you wanted to share.
Well, for me, when we were writing it, it was just more so about the sentiment was, I'm going to love God with my last dying breath for the rest of my life. It's something I say at the end of our church services when I lead people to Christ, and they repeat after me this prayer. And at the end of the prayer, I say, and I'll serve you with my whole life for the rest of my life. And so that is the sentiment of the song. God, I love you, and I'm going to do whatever I can to serve you all of my life for the rest of my life.
Yes.
But I'm singing it with a person who I feel the exact same way about. I'm going to love her forever until I'm not breathing with my last breath. This is it. And so it serves as sort of a double entendre where, I'm talking to God, but I'm talking to my wife.
Don't be looking at me like that.
Like they're having an intimate moment here, reality. It's all good. It's the real thing. Trust me, it feels like the real thing. Right?
Absolutely.
It's absolutely beautiful. I don't want to talk about anything negative. We all know there was an example of family that was recently destroyed in our culture, and so I think that is even more of one of the bigger reasons that we need examples. But I guess the difference is that was not a real example. And what you guys have, putting your family out, that is a real example. So TV One, did the series on you all. How was that
Yes.
experience, and where can people find that before we get ready to get out of here?
That was a really great experience. It felt like family from the beginning of the relationship. A lot of the people that were executives, we had known most of our career. We'd worked with them, you know, in Mary. So going to a place like TV1, where we knew they loved the black family, and we knew how they felt, and the images that you put out would be ones that made us look good, you know, that would give us a reason to go, I like us, you know what I mean? We're sassy, we're colorful, yeah, you know, and so we felt really, really good about it. Our kids even go, hey mom, we're gonna get a season 2. Do your homework, like, you know what I mean? But I mean, it was a great experience for us, you know. It was nothing that we were embarrassed, but real stuff, you know, that we talked about on the show. But real resolve, real love.
It still airs on TV1 here and there, but also you can go on demand, because they have the TV1 app too.
So you can just get the whole series, just binge out on Erica Campbell.
That's
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely.
So just go to hashtag
We're the
#WeareTheCampbells, and it'll pop up. It'll pop up everywhere, yeah.
That's awesome. We definitely hope to see you guys back again. We definitely need those examples, and I think we've learned that we need real examples, and we need those people that do have that to share with the rest of us that may not have it. So thank you guys so much for being that example.
You're welcome.
And thank you, of course, for dropping by Rolling Out. If you've enjoyed this interview, we hope that you will comment, leave your comments below. You can find out more on rollingout.com. And again, like I said, the video is on the site. So thanks one more time to Erica and Warren, and we will see you guys next time.